On some occasions, they fly. On some other occasions, they crash. The one fear that everyone has is hopefully they don't roll over and crash. We're back at the Jamboree for another Monster Spectacular. All about horsepower, featuring the best in the General Tire Monster Truck Thunder Drags. Today it is the second round of the General Tire Monster Truck Thunder Drags emanating from the A&A Auto Store's 4-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Summer Nationals. We're back to where it all began for All About Horsepower, and it's time to get Season 6 on to Episode 2. And it's going to be a great weekend here at the Bloomsburg Fairgrounds. 6 top trucks and a great Penda-style track on the Bloomsburg infield. Although, as you'll see once we get into a horsepower power tracks, the track's set up a little bit different, at least when it comes to angle. But we have a great weekend in store for you, and the big names are here. And the points leader this weekend, Mikey Vaughters Jr., is looking to extend his lead, coming off a huge win streak out of Lima. He actually won everything on Saturday except for one event and swept Sunday. So he's looking to create some momentum. And it's Mikey's first time here in Bloomsburg driving the big truck. He was here a few years ago, but he was in freestyle motocross. But the Vaughters team is ready to rock and roll, and so is the Bigfoot camp as Christian Norman looks to get back up in the points. And finally, for the first time in 2 years, the Hall brothers are back at Bloomsburg, and Mark Hall himself is trying to get back in victory lane. He has not won in Bloomsburg since 2014. Will he be able to do it this weekend? We don't know. Another key factor this weekend is actually the skies. Not so much rain, but it is going to be hot, and that's going to take a lot of attrition on these engines. So before we get into all that, we're going to introduce you to the field of trucks that's here this weekend and give you a track walk on the newest segment, Power Tracks. All right, the field is rolling out of the garage area to greet the fans here on Friday evening. The sun is shining, it's beginning to set a little bit, and you can also see part of the Tough Truck course. This year they decided to do something a little bit different. They actually built part of the track for the Tough Trucks on the front stretch. What a sight it was to see. But before we actually get into the action, let's meet the field of trucks for the 2018 Jamboree in Bloomsburg. The fastest man in monster trucks is back in Bloomsburg, Mr. Mark Hall in the Raminator. It's been a decade since he has been at these fairgrounds. Mike Vaughters in the Black Stallion. The original monster truck team is represented by Christian Norman in the Lucas Oil Bigfoot. The Natural Disasters Racing team is here with Tim Mente at the wheel of Storm Damage. The title sponsor of the Monster Truck Thunder Drags is represented by Kurt Kramer in the General Tire General. And last in the field this year, Mike Vaughters Jr. in Overkill Evolution. Some of the fans are still making their way into the grandstands as we prepare for the Friday night action. The skies are clear. The sun is out. It is setting off the backstretch. It is going to be a beautiful night of racing. Let's take a look at your point standings after Lima. Thanks to the 2 wins that he achieved on Saturday and Sunday, it is Mikey Vaughters Jr. with a 2-round lead over both Mark Hall and Matt Dishman. However, with Dishman not here, it is expected that Mark Hall is going to start making a push to get into the lead. Now let's take a look at your Friday bracket. We're going to kick things off with Black Stallion and Storm Damage going up against one another. This will be the highly contested matchup. That final one, though, between Mikey Vaughters Jr. and Christian Norman is going to be spectacular. Well, let's not waste any more time. We're going to get right into it here on a Penda-style track. And also you will see a brand new graphic that will show you when the start line goes off from red to green. Let's get it on! the coolest things that was brought out to Bloomsburg prior to showtime is the RC team got to show out their gas-powered machines, and these things are incredible. They can take a beating and keep on going. Well, as we get set up for the semifinals, we are actually getting word from the pits that Overkill Evolution will not make the semifinals. There is breakage on the truck. We will not know what is going on until we get word from the team. So what does that mean? That means that Bigfoot comes back into that spot, and now General Tire moves in as the fast loser. And that means it is going to be a heavyweight semifinal round, and we are going to set it up to start off with a veteran matchup. It is going to be Mike Sr. in Black Stallion. He will take on Mark Hall in the Raminator. Here we go with the semifinals. This year I got the opportunity to do something I hadn't done in a while in Bloomsburg, and that is simply to just take a cruise. And there's always a designated lane for you to cruise, and you never know what you're going to see. In this case, I got to see someone rock out to AC/DC, and that was always fun. Well, we are set up for the championship, and it is a heavyweight showdown. In one lane, it'll be Mark Hall in the Raminator, and he will take on Christian Norman and Bigfoot. So let's get this set up. This is the first final round for Christian on the Jamboree circuit. Meanwhile, it's Mark Hall's first final since Lima, and he got shut out twice by Mikey Botters Jr. And also, he's been shut out at Bloomsburg since 2015. So, it is going to be a critical matchup for both of these guys. And we are set up. The RIs are going to get tested. The trucks are going to get lined up. Let's get it on. Bigfoot and Raminator for the finals. You talk about a great first night at the infield. Wow. It's a double down night for Christian Norman as he beat out everybody in the field to take the victory here on Friday night, and he doubled it up with a great freestyle that included a lot of big air. He almost pulled off a slap wheelie and a set of donuts on the infield. Although the downside, it's a little bit dusty, as you can plainly see. But also what you can plainly see behind me, they are doing a lot of work on the Overkill Evolution truck. He ended up, after that first round victory, he lost the rear end. He has no drive on the back half. He was able to pull it into the pits, but everybody's going to be working hard on it. In fact, Stephen Thompson, who's here helping out storm damage, plus with the Hurricane Force truck, he's already tearing into it. Another breakage that happened tonight was Mark Hall. He lost the rear axle in freestyle. Nothing to be too concerned about. They should have it ready to go. We have 2 shows on Saturday, the first one being racing, which we will cover for you. Saturday night is always an all freestyle spectacle, and it ends with fireworks. We hope that everybody will come back to see Saturday's action. In the meantime, we're going to do another horsepower throwback, and what we're going to do this time is we're going to show you a little bit of freestyle from the one, the only, Dan Runne of enjoyed the horsepower throwback this year. That was a very popular body from the Bigfoot team, and it was very popular in Bloomsburg with all the photos that were being taken. As you can see, we're set up for Saturday's bracket, and it is another picture-perfect afternoon. It's a little bit warm, but that's okay. It's a whole lot better than it was in Lima. We're going to get you set up here. Let's take a look at the bracket for the opening round of action, and it's going to start off with the rookies going at it. Well, at least in names. It's going to be Storm Damage versus General Tire, with the first-time Jamboree drivers going at it head-to-head to start things off. But that bottom matchup, I tell you what, is going to be a dandy whenever you have Mikey Waters Jr. taking on Christian Norman. Well, we're going to get them lined up. Out comes Tim Mente, and out comes Kurt Kramer. Let's get started with Saturday's action.
So I'm going to be going up against Storm Damage right now. So this is going to be your first head-to-head. Now we're going to run 3 head-to-heads here for the monster trucks. Then we're going to bring down what's called the Fast Cruiser, which will actually give us our 4th truck. Which is in our final run for Please take a picture of the staff squad and you can post that on any social media platform with the hashtag anywhere is possible. And they will follow that trend through the course of the weekend. Meanwhile, here we go around the field. Man, 160-foot jump for Raminator. Fastest recorded monster truck by the Guinness Book of World Records. This for how many years the 2018 Raptor chassis put down about roughly about 1,800 horse. And Overkill Evolution just a little bit shy of that, somewhere in the 1,600 to 1,700 bracket. But Overkill Evolution has got a gnarly whoa, 572 under the hood there. So it's going to be a great competition. These two are going to be going hand to hand, almost equal motors and drivetrains. But the gearing is different from one truck to the next. So what do they get then?
My apologies for a little bit of the video hiccup there whenever the screen went black, but we got everything back in working order as we go for another cruise down the Midway. Nice and overcast here a little bit. This was earlier in the morning, but the skies cleared up and we got a great afternoon. So as we get you set up for the semifinals, I can tell you that the fast loser of this bracket is actually Christian Norman. And not surprisingly, he's going to go back up against Mikey Vaughters Jr. in Overkill Evolution. So we get a great rematch of the first round. If Mikey can go 2 for 2, look out. He is going to be on point. But we're going to kick it off with another set of teammates, as it's going to be Kurt Kramer and Mark Hall going at it. Let's see who advances to the finals.
Equal power and equal drive rates in the truck. This is where it comes down to which driver has got the experience.
This is a final that we have already seen twice before, both times coming at Lima, and it had the same victor every single time. So, Mikey Vaughters Jr. is trying to go 3 for 3 against the Big Ram, while Mark Hall is trying to get back into victory lane. He was so close a day ago, he wants it bad. But it is not going to be an easy task against that Roush Yates power that Mikey Vaughters Jr. has in that Ford Super Duke. So we are not going to waste any time. Mark Hall, Mikey Vaughters Jr., it's your Saturday finals.
Once that's finished, takes just a couple of seconds for him to fire back up, get to that line, and get ready to rock and roll. So here we go, head to head, the final for the General Tire Thunder Drag. Here we go, one for the green line, and then... I think Mikey got him. Oh,
you talk about a great day of action in Bloomsburg, especially if your name is Michael Vaughters Jr. He achieved not just the racing victory, not just a double down, he pulled off a rare hat trick. And it was a great job by the Overkill Evolution team to pull this off, especially after the trouble they had last night. They ended the night with a flat tire after the final freestyle, but that's nothing to be concerned about. They'll have that ready to go. That is also going to be able to pad his points lead in the series, and going into Sunday, he might have a chance to actually clinch the freestyle championship depending on how things work out. Now, as you can see, we're not exactly at the fairgrounds. I actually went back to my hotel to shoot this segment because one of the key things that's been going on this weekend has not just been the action, but it has been the weather. As it was in Lima whenever it was raining, the story about the weather in Bloomsburg is it's hot. It is very sticky, it is very muggy. And unfortunately, whenever you have these big trucks, even though they like heat being put into the engine to make more power, it's not very good for the drivers. They're trying to keep cool. I myself have actually been very sticky, very dirty. I mean, you can't really plan for anything like this. But it's going to be another muggy and humid day on Sunday. One more event to go, and anybody that wants to try to beat Mikey Vaughters Jr. has to do so in this final show. But it's the go-home show. They're not going to leave anything on the table for this one. Before we get back to the action, let's be sure to have you realize what you can do whenever the Jamboree comes to your town. The Lucas Oil 4-Wheel Jamboree Series is the premier 4x4 enthusiast event put on by Bonnier Corporation. It doesn't matter if you are 3, 13, 33, or 83, there's always something to do for each member of your family whenever you're at the event. The manufacturer's midway is always popular at these events because the manufacturers are giving you factory direct pricing on the parts you may need for your particular project, whether it be some tires and wheels, or some engine components, some wiring, lights, or just something that you may not be able to find at a store. You can find it here. Want to register your vehicle for the show and shine competition? Go right ahead. You can win possibly best paint, best looking engine, or something in between, and their categories range anywhere from stock, modified, or professional. Or if you just want to show off your vehicle because you're proud of it, this is the exact place to do so. Feel like getting dirty? Join one of the 6 categories of mud bogs, the smoke show that comes along with the best one tire burnout contest. For those that don't mind getting a little air under their tires, there is the Mickey Thompson Tough Truck Challenge that includes both the stock category and a modified bracket, which is always popular among the fans. And for those that rather have a smaller scale 4x4, just reintroduced is the side-by-side shootout. For additional information on the 4-Wheel Jamboree Nationals, contact them on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, or online at BonnierCorp.com. Fired up for the final day of action. The sun is out, but looks hard to see. The track is actually very, very tacky, thanks to an enormous downpour that came overnight into Sunday morning. It rained so bad that there was actually a pool in turns 3 and 4 that brought in some peace. But the skies are good, and we are ready to get going, and we will start action with the rookies here at the Jamboree. Actually, one of the old rookies, in fact. Tim Mente will bring out Storm Damage, and it'll be Kurt Kramer in the opposite lane in the General Tire. Let's get going. As we can see, the Raminator is back on all fours, but what a tumble that Mark Hall took. He is okay. He's there putting on his hat as the crew goes back over to the truck. We are going to definitely do a horsepower rewind to see what took place. Off the line, it looks like maybe a slight edge to Mark Hall as we look on the replay. Right here is where things really get interesting. You can see Christian actually seems to slow up a little bit, but look at Mark. He is cockeyed in the air, so when he lands, he's going to get a huge rebound, and it just hooks and tumbles immensely. The body shreds, the dirt goes flying. He comes to a rest. And amazingly, Mark is okay. He got out of the truck. Christian was actually the first one to the truck to get him out. It's amazing to see, but Hall is driving the truck back to the pit to do some more work. Meanwhile, Bigfoot is actually getting towed back to the pits. He is your fast loser from this round, but they are not sure if he will make it back in time to race. They are reporting that he lost the rear drive shaft. It's going to be a tight fit. Also, there is another development in the pit area that is coming about, and it has to do with Overkill Evolution. Everyone on the stage has gotten word that, believe it or not, Overkill Evolution and Mikey Botters Jr. is out of the competition because he has blown the Roush Yates engine. So, what that means is, in the semifinals, we are going to bring back the second fastest loser, which is going to be Tim Mente and Storm Damage. So we are going to start things off with a rematch in the semifinals between Kurt Kramer and Tim Mente. Here we go. Well, as you could tell, Mark Hall got the free pass in the semifinals, as Christian Norman and the entire Bigfoot team, despite all their efforts, they were not able to get the truck fixed, and he is out of competition. Now for the finals, it is a teammate matchup as Kurt Kramer makes his first final round appearance in his career as he goes up against his boss. And this is rather interesting. Mark is going up against his old truck, which is the current Guinness World Record holding chassis at 99.1 miles an hour. His truck right now may not have as many body parts, but he is ready to go. It is Ram versus Ram. It's the final race of the weekend. Let's get it on.